everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping for plenty of touches to come their way. It's Ty Montgomery's Packers going up against Dalvin Cook's Vikings. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Guyton. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. For the rookie, Dalvin Cook. And right away, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Unfortunately, Packers fans, they saw a lot of completions like that last year when they were number 31 in the league in passing defense. Now, I know injuries had something to do with that, but that's a ship they're looking to right.
They have to, because what they do so well on offense, in some ways they're wasting by allowing what they're allowing on defense. So now you change things up. Do you play a little more zone where in the past you might have played man-to-man? Do you back off of some of the schemes that you played before and emphasize something new? Bottom line, though, they've got to cover tighter and knock away a few of those passes downfield.
Again, it's Cook, and he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Screenplay, McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Guyton. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers now on first down. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I know Davante Adams really developed in 2016 as a receiver for Green Bay. I think he had plenty of incentive because when Aaron Rodgers breaks contain, gets out of the pocket, anything can happen downfield. You can find yourself open, can't you?
And it makes Adams a high-volume guy. Week 7 and 8 last year, 25 catches. Highest two-game total in the illustrious history of the Packers. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. For Jordy last year, tremendous. NFL's comeback player of the year, 97 catches, over 1,200 yards, and led the NFL 14 receiving touchdowns.
Well-deserving to be the comeback player of the year, but I know these types of competitors, they don't like to be the ones to come back from anything. They just want to be consistent, and Jordy Nelson is definitely that.
Snap comes at 1. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On third down, they go Montgomery. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 15-yard line. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs.
I actually like the fake, all right? They gave it a shot. This is one of those plays where you really think you're going to fool people because he shoveled it off to the kicker, and he was going to try and get it running. We have seen it be successful before, but definitely not on this play.
Yeah, I was going to say, as the kicker, when a lightning-quick halftime, these guys hardly made it to the tunnel. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
To throw is Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because You've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And again, it's Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. He's got his target. It's Cobb. The 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Randall Cobb, 41 yards. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Running for it. Here's Cook. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Rodgers throwing here. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Rodgers to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
They had to convert there on 4th down, and they ran the football. Major surprise, but they pick it up. Now they've got to really hurry.
Now Rodgers. That's complete right around the 8. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the ball.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. First down, Bradford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Kentrell Bryce picks it, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And now running right through it. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
Well, partner, I know that you and I were raised that in this situation, just take a knee. You got the game pretty much salted away, but instead of that, they throw it. Another touchdown.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see this post-game handshake.
Maybe a conservative run up the middle, but to pass the ball and then score, yeah, some awkward handshakes coming up.
Yeah, this could be one of those. Yeah, nice game, buddy.